What's up, Trader's Edge? It's Mark Sebastian, your only option. Today, we're going to break down the week that was. We're going to talk about what could happen over the long weekend. We're going to look at the indexes, the VIX, the energy pricing, bonds, and I'm going to give you that one stock to watch next week. So with that, let's dig in. Everybody, starting Wednesday, it is the game plan anniversary, the first anniversary of Vaz's game plan. This is a free event. You can register to join by clicking this link. If you're following me on YouTube or on Twitter, same story. Just click the link that I'm going to be sending out or come to OptionPit.com and check us out. It was a week for the markets. Notably, Monday, Friday, we started off, we ended last week with the potential for things to be very, very, very bad. Came in on Tuesday, end of quarter, start to get, hey, maybe things aren't that bad. Big, giant rally, follow through on Wednesday. And then what caught me off guard was President Trump's speech on Wednesday night was not particularly passive. And for the S&P to go from down 100, basically on the open, to then close green on the day was absolutely astounding. Look at the range the S&P had just during the trading hours. The low was 64.74. The high, 66.01. That is a 126-point range. Folks, the thing to recognize with the S&P is how much it's moving on a daily basis. The average true range, so this is how much it moves on a daily basis between highs and lows, is now sitting at over 100, almost 105. That's good for about 1.5% a day. Folks, that is massive movement. The last time we saw anything close to that was when we were still in the middle of the tariff tantrums from about a year ago. And then prior to that was November. So what's been interesting is that it hasn't been this spike that we'll get. It has been a slow cascading increase in movement. My prediction next week is going to be a banger, and I'm going to get to that in a second. So S&Ps went from really ugly to, pretty nice day. Qs, kind of a similar story. They're a little weaker than the S&P and the Dow, but same thing. Came in, Qs, the low was below 572, the high over 586, a 15-point range. That's almost 3%. It is doing about $11.20 a day, almost 2%. Every day we're moving. And again, this cascading increase in movement out of the Qs, I think that's the part that is really fascinating. What is kind of amazing is that the VIX managed to close down on the day. Still above, almost 24, but the VIX looks exceptionally strong. When I given kind of the turnaround today, when I pull up the futures term structure, we're showing confusion. Futures are in backwardation, and the VIX itself is kind of over all the months except the front two. VIX is basically telling you, that huge movement you're getting on a daily basis, we're going to keep getting it. That is what the VIX is telling you. Oil on President Trump's speech absolutely exploded higher. It is kind of fascinating that oil could be, USO could be 138 and the S&P would manage to close up green. I did not have that on my bingo card. And, it actually closed near the highs of the day. If you're looking for a reason to say, hey, maybe things aren't so bad, bond market seems to have found its footing. If the bond market could start to rally here, even with oil going up the way it is, that's going to provide a little bit of a floor for stocks. That's going to give them some strength. So talking about this movement that we're getting back to SPX, the play has been straddles and strangles, day trading, 0 DTE, 1 DTE. Because we're getting such wild movement, I put on a out of the money call and an out of the money put on the S&P on a day like today, Thursday, when we were down and then managed to get up. I ended up selling both sides of it for at really nice prices. Made about over 100% on my puts, and then by the time I was done with the calls, I was looking at north of 125% on a strangle. This is a trade that doesn't have a directional opinion when it starts. Those trades continue to work and work very well. That's part of the reason why you want to be looking at what we're doing here at Option Pit so closely. We've been all over it. In the last week, we have put on strangles and trades of the such that have returned 240%. We've returned 65%, 20%, 50%. Today's trade, 125%. So what is that one stock to watch? The answer, believe it or not, is not USO. It's not TLT. It is XLE. I found it telling that on a day oil was up 13 bucks, XLE could not get off the mat and close near the lows. Folks, I do like XLE, but I think it's got a lot of premium priced into it. I am a happy buyer if it gets down toward 50, but I believe next week could be a very tough week for XLE. In terms of the market, 0 DTE, 1 DTE, and strangles and straddles are going to be your method of attack. All right, everybody. Once again, it is the Vasaversary, the game plan anniversary. Make sure to click this link and join us. For my friends that are Jewish, I hope you're having a lovely Passover. And for my friends that are Christian or Catholic, I hope you have an amazing Easter. Happy Easter to all. I'm Mark Sebastian. I am your only option. Have a good one.